Hello, this is my first log on the channel I call Bepsilion. I thought I'd make this video today to highlight an aspect of my calling I wanted to improve on, and that calling in question is Adorish. Adorish is my most developed fictional language in terms of vocabulary size. I won't go too much in detail about it, but to give you a quick overview on its typology, it's basically an agglutinative language, meaning it likes to chain a lot of suffixes on to denote complex meanings. I'm using it for a writing project I plan to keep secret for reasons I won't go into this log. When I was looking back at the grammar, I found myself dissatisfied with the very European noun declensions. Although Adorish uses an ergative absolutist split, that's where a distinction is made in the marking of a subject as either an agent or a patient, no plural marking, and 7 noun classes, I've only developed 4 cases, and I've not put a lot of focus into the adjective marking, which I wanted to agree with the nouns they were linked with. So, I've decided to try and improve the noun declensions. My 4 goals, as you can see here, not only include adding more cases and figuring out how the adjective agreement should work, but also add some irregularity and analogy. In case one isn't aware of what those last 2 mean, irregularity is where a word in a language does not follow the standard pattern of inflection. And for analogy, it's the opposite. It's when the speakers override old patterns with new ones to make the language more regular. Starting with the cases, I wanted to keep the original 4 and derive more cases from them. And how I did that was by turning some prepositions I already had into suffixes that altered the meaning of the original cases. For this, I used pinna for new cases based around position, or locatives as we like to call them, and to get 2 more, I used mif, meaning with, to create a case for instruments, not the tools you use for songs, but for objects used to perform something, and another which denotes you're accompanying something. That's the comitative in the bottom right. So with that, I was able to get in total 11 cases. That doesn't put it at the number of cases used in languages like Finnish or Hungarian, but I don't want something too similar to the Uralic languages. The second thing I wanted to get down was the adjective endings. Before, I had these plain class endings that got suffixed onto the adjective. They were derived from the same roots as the nominal class endings, which was why after a while I felt it was a overly repetitive and boring inflection pattern. And so I looked for a more interesting approach. And the approach I came up with was creating a set of animate and inanimate adjectival possessive prefixes that agreed with the class of the thing being possessed, not the possessor, which over time lost their possessive meaning and just became agreement markers for adjectives. I might toy around with this system a bit more so I can have each class marked separately. For developing irregularities, it's quite simple. Because the base class system is mostly semantic and based off of animacy, I thought I'd have some examples of nouns like onga, which means part, that acts like a class 6 noun but has a class 3 ending, or udne, singer, which does not have any ending but falls under class 1 because of its meaning. And finally, for the base noun cases, I'd added in a bit of analogy to clean up the effects of sound changes from Proto-Alcorvalian to modern-day Adorish, which blurred the line between the class suffix and the case suffix. My rationale for this in-world is that the speakers of Adoran regularize the declensions to follow a neater pattern. It's akin to the strong noun plural becoming the dominant plural suffix of English. I don't have much else to talk about for analogy because most of what you can see of the changes I put on this table, so I'll leave it there. So that's all I wanted to talk about in this Bepsilion log. See you next time, I suppose. Bye!